Happy Thursday, everybody. It is February 9th, 2023. Let's have a class. Here we go. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to start by reviewing what we did on Tuesday. This will be an opportunity for everyone to share what they learned, what they participated in, what they were processed, what they've thought about 48 hours in the last 48 hours. And then we're just going to go over vocabulary before we continue the story that we're reading and listening to. So much of the first half of class today will be vocab based. So get your notes ready, new words. We'll then finish up the first half of class by going into breakout rooms and discussing questions 1 and questions 2 in the next assignment. Then we'll have our 10-minute break. We'll finish listening to the story. And then we're going to look at what's called the Tel Aviv experiment. So in Israel, the University of Tel Aviv did an interesting experiment on social media. And we're going to not only hear about the results, but we're going to look at the paper that they published. And this will give you a chance to look at an academic paper and see what it looks like and how it's formatted, which is a very useful tool. So that's my agenda for today. Let's get moving. So who can tell me what we did on Tuesday? So I'm going to turn the volume off of the recording of Tuesday's class. And I'm just going to go through chunks of the class and ask everybody to recall what we're doing at what time. So here we go. So, all right, this was early in the class in the first 15 minutes. Who could tell me what this was all about?
We were explaining the meaning of the word. I don't remember how to pronounce it, but it was explaining the meaning of that word.
You're right. Yes, exactly. So this was one of the new vocab words that I introduced last class. And now I'm going to use just a section of this class right here. So this is one of the reasons I record the classes. It's good for retention. So I'm going to play this real quick. That continued on for a little bit. What were we doing right here? Who can pick up where Andres left off? When I showed these two images, what was that all about?
They comparing the real life with the Instagram.
We always do that.
Yeah, Fatima, that's absolutely right. So yeah, we had a discussion about real life versus life on our screens.
Mm-hmm.
Whoop, and then whoop, there we go. There we go. And following this, I introduced a new concept right here. What was this all about? I'll play this section of the class.
We talk about how many people live in like Truman Show in the real life.
Exactly, exactly. Was that Sandra? Who was that just now?
Yes.
Sandra, perfect, perfect. So yes. So how, and that's a great way to pick up where we left off. How are people living their real life like they're in the movie The Truman Show? In what ways?
Faking his social media, and many people lie in
Mm.
your face about their life.
Performing in daily
Okay.
life. Yeah,
Perfect.
performing, staging their own reality TV show. Excellent. So yes, that's what we did. Here's the image, Schadenfreude, pleasure due to someone's misfortune. And this relates to the constant comparison that one does in modern society based on life in the real world versus life on the screen. And these are the same images. Life on our screen is very much the word, who remembers the word curated? This is the picture on the left is very curated, whereas the picture on the right is very unrehearsed. So let's go into that vocabulary. So the curated world versus your unrehearsed natural life. So we went over these 4 vocabulary words last class. Who remembers the first one, how to pronounce it?
Ravenous.
Ravenous.
Ravenous. Thank you.
Ravenous. Excellent. Who remembers what it means? Good. Good try, Gracie. Ravenous. What does it mean? We went over the first 4 in the list. A synonym, well, not an exact synonym. I said it's, think of desire. What does ravenous mean?
Ravenous is
Like
extremely
starving.
hungry.
Yes, yes, exactly, exactly. So both of you are correct. It's extremely hungry. So we can use the word ravenous when we're talking about a desire that's really, really strong, like an who knows this word? Urge. An urge. Like you really want something. And usually it's talking about like a natural instinct, like hunger. If you haven't eaten for a long time, you're ravenous. But oftentimes we're all motivated by different things in life. And to be ravenous is to be motivated by an extreme desire, an extreme urge. Ravenous. Who remembers this word? I'll start call.
Correlation.
Good. Who is that?
Raneris.
Quantities. Yes. Now, who can give us the definition of a correlation?
Correlation is mutual relationship or connection between two or more things.
Pretty close. Yeah, that's it. They usually have thinking of something happening side by side. Correlation. Yeah. Who can give me this one? I'll call at random. I'll start. So get ready, everybody. Monica. What's the third word?
What is it, teacher?
Who could, what's the third word right here? Try to read this with me.
Causation.
Causation. There we go. Who can give me a definition of causation?
Something affect you or something like that.
To affect directly.
Mhm.
Yep, cause and effect directly. So a difference, correlation is having some kind of a loose relationship. Causation is a direct relationship. And then the word I just used, who could say this one?
Curating.
Curating, yes. Now I just use it in a sentence. Fatima, can you use it in a sentence?
Actually, I confuse what curating mean.
No problem, no problem. So a minute ago, well, think museums. Do you remember the definition I gave everybody with museums?
Mhm.
It's a kind of organization of the
Mhm.
When
item.
art.
Exactly, exactly. So who has a picture of themselves on their wall or a picture of their family on the wall?
Oh.
Or a picture of your family on your desk?
I think no one.
No one has a picture of their family anywhere. Nobody?
But the last week you say curating is like when you select the best picture for posting in Facebook or
Yes.
whatever
Yeah.
social media.
Yes, and that's exactly the same thing. So let's say in your house, does anybody have a picture of your family? Your kids, anything like that?
Yes, I have in my house.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask, actually, who is this? Who says I have a picture of the kids up?
Clary.
Claudia. In this picture of your kids, do you have the kids fighting with each other? Pulling each other's
No.
hair?
No.
Okay. Do you have the kids arguing with each other?
No.
Are the kids looking at the camera and smiling?
Yes, just that.
Of course, that is curated. So our real life is not the same as our curated life. So of course, when we put a picture of ourselves on the wall to remember, we want it to be, we control what we look like. Does everybody understand? Like, how many of you, when you, before you walk outside, you look exactly the same as you did when you woke up? You just roll out of bed and walk outside. Or does anybody stop to say, maybe I should brush my teeth, maybe I should put on a clean shirt, something like that, right?
Yeah.
So that's what curated means. You're projecting the best image of yourself, which we naturally should do. We don't want to look sloppy. We don't want to look, we hide the negative and show the positive. Another way to say that is, this is an idiom. Put your best foot forward. So everybody can say this with me. Put your best foot forward. Put your best foot forward.
Put your best foot
Put your
forward.
best foot forward.
Mhm.
All right.
With
So
your
only,
best foot forward.
there you go. Oh, okay. So thank you. Thank you, Andres and Fatima. Everybody else is just being entertained by the class. All right. I don't look forward to these in-person classes. Everybody's going to sit there and just like wait to be entertained. Might as well just stay home. All right. So that's what that means. It's a curated life. So the story of Rachel, she curates her life and her marriage on social media. And the curated version of her life becomes much, much, much different than the real life when the camera's off. So these next words I'm going to show everybody. I think everybody already knows this one, this one, this one, and this one. But the next 5 words I'm going to teach you right now. Everybody follow me, turn your microphones on, follow me with the pronunciation.
Okay.
Engagement.
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 Engagement. Thank you.
Engagement.
Chronicled.
Chronicle.
Chronicled.
Chronicle.
Chronicle.
Good. Ambivalence.
Ambivalent.
Intuitive.
Intuitive.
Hesitations.
Hesitation.
Hesitation.
Beautiful. Now I'm going to ask, who can give me a definition? Engagement. What's that mean?
Me, teacher.
Go for it, Doris.
When you have someone, it's the first step, even when you're married.
Yes. An engagement as a noun is the agreement to be married. People might have an engagement party, that kind of thing. Or a proposal to be engaged, can be a ritual in various cultures. Good. Another way to talk about engagement is to be involved. You can say, I'm very engaged with my work. What does that mean?
It means you so in your work.
Exactly. You're really focused. It's taking up a lot of your energy. Exactly. Or watch this. I'm really disengaged with my work. So that's kind of, that's an
interest about your work.
Yeah, you've lost interest. You don't really, you're distracted. You want to be somewhere else, that kind of thing. Excellent. All right, nice. Good job, Doris. Who could give me chronicled? That's a little harder. It's a good word to use. Chronicled.
I know.
I'm gonna challenge somebody else. Everybody who, you can look it up right now. Chronicled. All right. Who's heard of this word?
Me.
Chronology. What is that? Chronology.
It's like the series of events.
Exactly.
Repeat.
Exactly. A series of events. Or who's heard of this? Chronological order. What does that mean?
Like from the beginning to the end, like organized in time correctly.
Exactly. So yeah, chronological order from when something happened from the past to the present, that organizing with time, exactly what Andres said. Beautiful. So chronicled means, what do you think chronicled means? To chronicle something. And this, it's a yeah.
It's like okay, go.
It's okay. Go for it.
It's like a record of something.
Yeah,
like...
Israel, you're correct. Yeah, it's a record of something. To keep a record. Exactly. To keep record is to chronicle something. Excellent. Now this word is emotional. Ambivalence. What is ambivalence? I'm feeling ambivalent. I'm going to use this in a sentence.
It's a kind of contradictory feelings. It's a kind of confusion.
Mixed feeling, something like that.
Sometimes I love you, but sometimes I hate you. It's like.
Who could relate to that? I think that was Gracie just now, right? Sometimes I love you, but sometimes I hate you. That's perfect. That's ambivalence. It's a word that describes a mix of emotions. If you can feel love and hate at the same time, that's ambivalence. Does anybody here feel ambivalent about moving to this country?
Or time, teacher.
All the time, yeah. That's a good word to use. Ambivalence. Ambivalence. So here's a quick question. When you feel ambivalent about living your life in America, do you tell people on Instagram, I don't know if this was the right choice? Or do you take a nice picture of your happy family and your home and say, yep, our life in America is perfect? Which one do we show?
For me, I will show the reality.
But you left, you told us you left social media, right, Fatima?
Yes. If I have the social media, I will tell the
Right, but
reality.
you said I would show the reality, but
Yes.
you chose to get off that,
Yes.
to stop
I don't have the right.
telling. Well, I'm going to use this new word. You made a choice. You stopped chronicling your life online. You said, I'm not going to live on my screen anymore. Plenty of people are
Yeah.
making that decision.
Mhm.
That's what this is all about. How many of you post real stories about your life in America? I've been on my feet for 15 hours. I am in pain. I'm working all day and I'm in pain. This is my life in America. How many people say that on WhatsApp or Instagram? I love it. Frantic is like, oh, hell no. I'm not going to tell anybody that. I'm going to tell you I'm living. I'm going to tell you I'm driving my car. I've got a nice home. I got my TV. How many people say this is how much this is, or I don't know. Here's the rat in my apartment.
Teacher,
Yeah.
I sometimes I when I feel sad,
Mm-hmm.
something in my Instagram to encourage people.
There we go.
Yes, I choose the different, not to show people that I'm sad, but I try to think positive for me and people.
Well, you actually are. I'm so glad that you're here. You are a great contrast to Fatima, because Fatima has completely exited social media, but
Yeah.
you've done the opposite. In the last year, you've become I don't know if everybody knows this, but you're actually, your classmate is a big star. Doris is this. Did you know? Doris is in fact an influencer. So Doris, as an influencer, when you're feeling sad, why do you always tell us a happy story when you're feeling sad? Why not tell a sad story? Why not just turn on your camera and say, hey, everybody, I don't know what to do.
But
The
sometimes,
end.
sometimes I put about my story, about my car accident, and
Mhm.
show people what I win because my car accident. Because life is don't stop. You need
Mhm.
to move on and to try to figure out something good in your life. That's why I do this thing. I say people, sometimes I feel bad, sometimes I miss something, but I try to do my best
Mhm.
and don't give up.
That is usually welcome. People, I think you probably, that's a message that people will follow on social media. If you said the opposite, I think you might lose followers. If you said, you know what, I had it, I give up. You probably would, people would say, hey, Doris, are you okay? And maybe people would say, cancel, 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 cancel. But
But
that message is the message people want.
yes, but I don't, when I just post something that I feel. I don't post just for posting.
Mhm.
I post when I feel something and I post.
Mm.
When I feel sad, when I feel happy, when I
Mhm.
feel I need to show people something positive, I post. I don't post every day.
Hmm. That's exactly right. You are doing this is called this is an example of curating. No one will post absolutely everything that's going on. We curate our lives. Franertes, you've had your hand up for a while. Sorry for the delay.
Yes, teacher. I think you social media, you have 90% the hater and maybe 10% the people love you. For that reason, I think you have to carry your life.
Curate.
Caring. What is the pronunciation again?
You want to slow down with the R.
Yes.
Curate.
Curate.
Curate. Yes.
Because sometimes when I was post something about
Mhm.
my life,
Mhm.
I could feel the bad energy, you know,
Mm.
the envy. And for that reason, nowadays I post only speak about God, you know, about my religion, about
Mhm.
my for that reason. Because I think
Mhm.
or somebody never want you are better than them, you know?
Well, here's a quick question. Would you ever post a feeling of ambivalence about your faith? Because that's perfectly normal to have.
Yes.
Do you ever say, I don't know about my faith today?
No, I know.
I mean, but everybody feels that, right?
Yes,
But how
everybody.
many people get on Instagram and say, you know what? I just came out of church and I just realized God is dead. Who post? Is anybody going to post that?
No,
But how many people think it?
I don't know.
A lot of people will think this, but no
Yes,
one would dare to post this, right?
they don't like that post, teacher.
Right. But your reaction would be like, what? Cancel, 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 cancel.
I have some view in my
Yeah.
videos, but I don't have like, you know?
Okay.
Some views, a lot of views. Somebody
Mhm.
listen my videos, but don't somebody say like. Maybe I have 300 view and I have to like. It's crazy.
Well, here's the what's going to happen in the story is that in the lives that we curate, positive feelings online are very welcome, very, very, very welcome. Negative feelings are not always appreciated. Like Rachel decides she's going to get married. She doesn't know if she wants to get married. She has decided to take this leap of faith and start a life with this new person. But of course she posts, oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. But in her mind, she's thinking, I don't know what I'm doing. And we're going to see in this story, that the culture of social media it rewards positivity, but the feelings of negativity that are perfectly normal, the feelings of doubt, which are perfectly normal, are very much unwelcome. And that's what we're gonna find for the rest of the story. So if we cannot, if we know that you're not supposed to, well, here's a quick question. Does anybody tell you that you should not post a picture of yourself when you wake up in the morning? You should wait till you look good and post a picture of yourself.
No,
Nobody tells you that,
nobody tells.
but we know, right?
Yeah.
And
But
the word for that is intuitive. Everybody say this with me.
intuitive.
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 Intuitive. Intuitive. It's perfectly normal to think, oh, I'm going to post a picture of myself. Wait. I got to look good. I got to look good. Okay, now I look good. I post a picture of myself looking good. We know we're supposed to look good and show the world that we look good. Nobody tells us that, but we know it's a rule. That's intuitive.
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 Mhm.
Last vocab word. Who could tell me what this is?
Hesitation.
Hesitations.
Hesitation. Hesitation.
Hesitations.
Hesitation.
Is vacillations?
What's that?
Is, oh my Lord, vacillations, maybe?
No, no. What does it mean to hesitate?
When you
You wanna
make
do
a
something and you can do it in the same time.
Oh, wait, say it again. Israel, then Letitia or Fatima.
You wanna do something, but you can do it in the same time. You're scared to do it.
Being scared to do something. It's doubt. To
Mhm.
hesitate. You're like, I don't know about this. To hesitate. Hesitations. Yeah. Excellent. Last few words. I think everybody is familiar with this. Who could tell me what this word is on the left?
Comparison. Comparison.
Comparison.
Comparison.
Comparison.
You compare yourself a lot.
Yeah, yeah. This is my background. The Schadenfreude, comparing yourself. This person is having a bad day, makes me feel better about my life. Schadenfreude, comparison. Experiment. Who knows what that is? It's to test something, to try something out, is an experiment. We're going to learn about an experiment done at the University of Tel Aviv. If you've ever driven a car to a shopping mall, you're always looking for this. Everybody say this with me. Validation.
Validation. Validation.
Validation.
Validation.
Validation.
Validation. Validation. If something is valid, what does that mean?
That is allowed.
It's allowed. It's recognized. The feeling of validation. Frenities, when you get a like on one of your posts, do you feel validation? Like, yes, it's like that feeling of pleasure, like joy, like, whoa, somebody saw me, somebody recognized
Sometimes,
me.
yes,
It's nice,
true.
right?
It's nice.
Or who does this? They have an idea, they think of something funny to say, and they post, and 15 minutes later, wait, nothing. 15 minutes later, nobody's liking me. Nobody likes my picture. Nobody thinks my joke is funny. Oh, is that feeling of like, wait, I need somebody to like what I just said. That's that desire. It's that ravenous desire for validation. We want that. We want to be recognized by other people.
Yes.
If
it's
we're
true.
not, we have ambivalence, we have hesitations, we don't know what to do with ourselves.
And sometimes when I liked my video and I
Mhm.
say, oh, wow, that video is perfect, you know? And
Mhm.
sometimes don't like the people. The people don't care, you know?
Mhm.
It's crazy. But
Yes.
I enjoy that.
Yeah. All right. So, any questions about any of the vocabulary? Like I said, we'd spend a lot of time with vocabulary this morning. Any questions here?
Yes, teacher. Can you give another example about hesitation?
Hesitation, absolutely. Okay. Did anybody make a New Year's resolution last month that they wanted to lose weight? It's 2023. I'm gonna get in shape. I'm gonna exercise. Anybody say that to themselves?
Yes, but not about the
Right. And
losing
then
weight.
how
Something
many of
else.
you in the last few weeks have actually started to exercise or eat more vegetables or something.
No, nothing.
It's that moment where you think, I'm gonna do this, and then you think, I don't know about that. No, that's the hesitation. Well, I don't know.
Okay,
Or like,
okay.
how about this? I'm gonna get more sleep. Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed early. And then you find out, wait a minute, there's a new show on Netflix. How much sleep do I really need? That's that hesitation. I'm gonna do something, and then you don't do it. That's hesitation.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you,
Does that help,
teacher.
Monica?
Yes, we're flooding.
Oh, Claudia, I'm sorry. All right. So in a little bit, we're going to look at the first two questions on the assignment. Why did Rachel feel pressure about settling down to start a family? We started this to answer this question last class, but I'm going to introduce the second question. Here's the second question. What aspects of Rachel's marriage did she leave out of social media? And this is a great picture that's should be very familiar to anyone in the modern world living in any relationship. What's going on with these two? Are they close?
Addicted to the social media before sleeping?
Well, my question is are they close? Is this couple close?
No,
Why not?
everyone has another thing to do. Choose
Right,
talk together
right.
or do something together.
Right. She's got to make a post about, she's probably posting a picture about how wonderful her marriage is, and he's probably doing the same thing.
Yes.
They are
So
close physically, but not mentally.
there we go, Claudia. Yes, they're close physically, but not otherwise. Exactly. Exactly. Beautiful. So let's, so these are the two questions we'll discuss in breakout rooms. Whoops. So why did Rachel feel pressure about settling down and starting a family? And what aspects of Rachel's marriage did she leave out of her social media? So there's probably, in this image, you could probably see whatever he's posting and whatever she's posting is not the full story. They're definitely curating their lives. Here we go. So let's get back into the story. And one thing I neglected to show everybody last week, this link to the story to listen to is on Google Classroom, but you can stop and start when you want, and you can download it to listen to it on another device. And this is the transcript, so you can read it. So I'll pick it up right within the first 5 minutes here. And does everybody see how I'm using these tools? You can skip 15 minutes ahead if you like, 15 seconds ahead. Like there was a commercial that came and I just jumped over the commercial. So as you listen to this again and again, you can go back and forth 15 seconds to find the place you want. Okay. Here we go. I gotta find that. Pardon me, just finding. There it is. There it is. Okay.
Teacher, I can't hear.
Let me double check, do something.
Is mute.
Nope, hang on one second. I'm going to
It's
reshare.
only me. Oh, I don't know.
Okay, one more time.
Rachel Leonard is a free spirit.
How about now?
Yes, it's perfect.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot to add the audio. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. Thanks for telling me now instead of waiting till like another 15 minutes and I'd say, what do you think? And everybody's like, oh, I didn't hear. That's happened before. Okay. Okay, here we go.
20s and 30s, she lived all over the United States.
Out in Colorado and upstate New York, and I lived in Vermont for a long time, and then I was living in Asheville, North Carolina.
And she traveled all over the world. She met lots of different people in all these places. To keep in touch with them, she signed up for Facebook.
I was traveling in Central America 2006 and 2007, and I did not have a phone, and I was in pretty remote areas. I signed up then because I kept meeting all these wonderful people, and one of the ways to immediately, connect with them was to friend them on Facebook.
The site became an important tool for Rachel to keep in touch with people she'd met on her travels, to share her adventures with friends and family back home.
That's actually when I started sharing my travels with other friends, my pictures of my trip.
But as much as Rachel loved traveling and felt good about the choices she'd made in her life, other feelings started to sneak up on her. Having Facebook also allowed her to see what everyone else was up to while she was backpacking in Central America or moving from one city to another.
Everybody's getting married. Some people have one child, some people have two children. All my friends have these high-powered jobs and they own houses and all of these things.
These feelings were at the back of her mind a few years later when she met a guy and decided to start a relationship.
I met him and I had been planning to leave the country and go to Southeast Asia to teach. And I met him in December and I was supposed to leave in June and I didn't go.
Her new boyfriend asked her to stay with him in Asheville, North Carolina. She wasn't sure it was the right thing to do, but she agreed.
It was a turning point in my life in lots of ways because up until then I'd kind of been this free spirit and did what I wanted and traveled a lot and still had that wanderlust, but I was also 33 and kind of looking around and realizing that other people were getting married and having kids, and I decided maybe I should try this out.
Soon, like so many of her friends, she was posting pictures and details about her happy relationship.
We got engaged pretty quickly, and at this time I'm posting my pictures, I'm posting our hikes. We lived on the Blue Ridge Mountains, so we'd have these beautiful hikes and this lovely little town, and of course I'm posting all of this.
Her engagement was chronicled, the new house they moved into, the view from the porch. All of it looked beautiful on Facebook.
If you looked only from the porch, you could see mountains straight, but if you looked to the left, you could see this huge factory. But of course I didn't take pictures of the factory, because why would you do that?
Because Facebook is not a place for pictures of ugly factories.
It was very taboo not to share positivity.
I'm going to actually underline that right there. It was very taboo not to share positivity. So if you remember the word intuitive, she's very, very active, posting all of these pictures of her marriage and their new house. One view from the porch has this really ugly factory, and then the other view has a picture of the mountain. She's said, well, of course I never took pictures of the ugly factory. I only took pictures of the beautiful mountain. We would go on these beautiful hikes. And she says it was taboo not to share positivity. What exactly does that mean? If you don't share positivity, it's taboo. Don't do that. What's that rule? What's going on?
Nobody is gonna like her sharing or her picture. Everybody's
Yeah.
gonna follow her again in Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah, you're not gonna get all these followers if you say, check out this ugly factory on my back porch. Check out this hole in the, I just bought a house and now I gotta pay $3,000 to fix this hole in the roof. Check out the hole in the roof. When it rains, we put a bucket and it catches the water. We're really cold. Nobody's telling that story
Yeah.
online. They're of course finding, look, here's our family having dinner and everything is perfect. Why is it taboo not to share positivity? We all know this. Who knows why? Why is that the rule?
You know, allow.
Maybe the
Or-
people in the social media making this rule. Nobody, yeah.
Monica, what are you thinking?
Maybe the society no allow you post the real life, only the positive thing, and the everybody's perfect, no problem. Yeah. If you wanted the people put a life, you maybe you send the beautiful things, beautiful picture, the perfect family, the perfect marriage. What to say? Yeah.
Perfect family, perfect marriage. Well, you know what, Doris, you probably will have a lot more insight to this than a lot of us, because you are in fact an influencer and your life is not perfect and you don't lie about it. How do you interpret this, what Rachel is going through? Rachel is having feelings of ambivalence. She knows her life is not perfect, but she is compelled to present her life as perfect online. What's going on in Rachel's head? What do you think, Doris? Oh. Or I'll send that question to somebody else. What is compelling Rachel not to tell the full story, to present her life as this perfect picture? Anybody?
Because she saw the other friends sharing only things positive, so she did the same, I think.
Okay, so she's after comparing herself to other people and their perfect lives, she is. Yeah, tell us, Israel.
She said it will be taboo not to do it, like not to share the best of it.
Andres, not Israel. I'm sorry. Israel and Andres. When I don't see the light on the screen, you have kind of similar voices. Or I was thinking, oh, Andres, Israel. Sorry about that. Confusing you. All right. Let's see. Okay. Let's keep going. So that's really the heart of the story. So for whatever reason, Rachel's, nobody's life is perfect, but Rachel is constantly presenting her life as perfect.
No one ever put negative stuff on there. And if they did, people were like, what's going on with blah, blah, blah. So it was always about being positive and showing your best side and your best moments.
Facebook.
So this next paragraph right here uses a lot of the vocabulary, and I want everyone to focus on this before the break.
Facebook is also not a place for ambivalence. Celebrating triumph, that's welcome. Mourning a tragedy, that's okay too. Expressing uncertainty and doubt, not so much. We all intuitively understand the rules. Posts about engagements and babies will receive ravenous applause. News about a grandparent passing away will elicit virtual hugs. But fears about not making rent, marital tensions, hesitations about becoming a parent, those are verboten. Rachel started to feel constricted.
So right there, this is really the heart of the story. Facebook is not a place for ambivalence, and this could be any social media platform. It's not a place for ambivalence. Celebrating triumph. My kids scored the winning goal into the soccer game. Mourning tragedy. My mother just died. You know, say something nice to make me feel better. That's okay. Expressing uncertainty and doubt, not so much. So my kid is terrible, is the worst player on soccer. Wow, after a long battle with cancer, my uncle finally is dead. These things are in the back of our minds because that's life. Nobody will say this ever, 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 ever. And then here's the word intuitive. We all intuitively understand these rules. Post about engagements and babies will receive ravenous applause. News about a grandparent passing away will elicit a virtual hug. But fears about making rent, marital tensions, hesitations about becoming a parent, those are forbidden, which is taboo or forbidden. Let's just look at that paragraph. I want to get everybody to share their thoughts. We have this rule, code of conduct. We know what's appropriate and what is not appropriate. Nobody gives us these rules, but somehow we know what we should and should not share with the world.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yeah.
I have a question. Is mandatory to show you live on social media? Because I only have social media for, you know, for I follow my famous person, but I know show my life. You know, it's mandatory that people show you life. Why? Yeah,
You're onto
because I
something.
have the family, I have the children. Maybe I go to vacation, but I not show my life. My private is life. You know, some people is when you open this window, everybody has the what did I say? I don't know, say the you know, when you open this window, you open the you life for every people comments. You know, sometimes you maybe you love relationship and everybody, oh, what happened? She don't send the photo. What happened? You know, because you open this window for the people. It's I don't know. It's that I don't know.
No, what you're talking about is the Truman Show delusion. Remember right here? The Truman Show. This is that movie, the 90s movie about a guy whose life was to be on TV, and then he realized that his whole life was fake. And that's that's essentially the premise of this story. Many people do live their lives as being cast in their own reality TV show. And I think what you're talking about is you're drawing a line. Here's what I will share and here's what I will not. And I think that's it sounds like a very healthy line to draw. Any other thoughts about this? We can continue when we come back with this paragraph.
Okay.
Any other thoughts from anybody?
No, thank you.
All right. Take a break. 10 minutes.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm here, teacher.
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you, Fatima. So yes, that's what I wanted to check with everybody. Okay. Everyone, please just thank you, Claudia. Yes, everybody, please either turn your camera on or give me a thumbs up emoji to let me know you are here. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you, Doris. Thank you, Fatima. Thank you, Gracie. So I'll just ask Letitia. Thank you, Israel. Letitia, Monica. All right. So I think just about everybody is here. Oh, I think we're missing Ayano. Hold on a second. All right. All right. So this was the paragraph that I highlighted before the end of the break. It's got all that great vocabulary. There's the word ambivalence, intuitive, ravenous. So there are these rules, codes of conduct that we follow intuitively. Certain things in our lives we will receive, we will be rewarded for, and certain things we will not. If we curate our lives in a certain way, we will receive positive feedback online. And we know this one way or another. Now, here's a question for everybody. What do you think is going to happen? Rachel has totally changed her life. She has stopped being a transient person, living in one place for a short amount of time and traveling the world, working odd jobs. And now she has settled down, she's gotten married, and she's having a baby in a small town. And even though she has feelings of ambivalence about this decision, she is showing the world on Facebook that her life is just fine, just great. Everybody, what do you think is going to happen?
Maybe she's gonna change her mind. Maybe she's gonna stop sharing. Maybe she's gonna stop and curing her life.
So, okay, so she'll exit social media. Okay.
Yeah.
There's one guess, a good guess. Let's get a few more guesses. So the question I'm asking, if you're just arriving back to your screen, what will happen to Rachel? What will happen to Rachel? She's living a double life. She's trapped in this this kind of imaginary world that she puts on Facebook, where her real life is not at all perfect. Fatima says she's going to exit social media completely. Any other guesses?
I have another guess. Maybe she's
Okay.
gonna stop lying in social media. Maybe she's gonna share the reality, not the reality, but she's not gonna be like before. Maybe.
Okay. So maybe she'll start sharing some of the unpleasant aspects of her life. Okay. Any other guesses from anybody?
Maybe she tried to do the same things she says been doing in the fake life.
What do you mean? Try to do something she says.
Maybe she really do these things in other moment when she feel tired about life, about her own life.
when you say she really does these things, you mean like the perfect world that she's
Not
showing?
perfect world. Maybe put social media, pause social media for a moment and really work in her life.
Okay. All right. What does everybody think is going to happen with her real life? Is she going to stay in that small town? Is she going to stay in this marriage? Because she's made that big switch. She decided, I'm not going to take that job overseas. I'm going to stay here and marry this guy and live in this small town, and we're going to buy this house.
Probably she's gonna be confused. She's gonna be confused, teacher, about her life or her online life.
She's going to be lost. She's going to go crazy. All right.
She will take time. She will take time to find herself.
Any other guesses? Anybody? Okay. Here's what happens.
About her happy life on social media, the greater the disconnect she felt with her real life. And not
about being positive and showing your best side and your best moments.
Facebook is also not a place for ambivalence. Celebrating triumph, that's welcome. Mourning a tragedy, that's okay too. Expressing uncertainty and doubt, not so much. We all intuitively understand the rules. Posts about engagements and babies will receive ravenous applause. News about a grandparent passing away will elicit virtual hugs. But fears about not making rent, marital tensions, hesitations about becoming a parent, those are verboten. Rachel started to feel constricted. The more she posted about her happy life on social media, the greater the disconnect she felt with her real life. The Truman Show she had invented online increasingly felt like a trap.
I know now that at the time, while it looked great and it looked right, it didn't really feel right for me. But I think that putting it out there and having my friends say, oh, this looks so wonderful, you look so happy, this is great, it was kind of my way of convincing myself it was. And I'd say that the more things didn't feel great, the more I posted.
The gulf widened between her real relationship and the Facebook version.
What I'm not posting is that we fought a lot, and what seemed to be kind of perfect to other people was not.
When the new couple took a trip to Charleston, Rachel says her friends on Facebook only saw the beautiful pictures. She posted photos of the two of them sitting on the beach, drinking mimosas, eating good food.
And really, we were fighting the entire time. I had actually tried to break up with him, and it was a miserable trip, but I didn't tell anybody that. And what I shared was the pictures of us in front of the fountain or at the aquarium or eating something delicious, and not that we fought 90% of the time. You're kind of curating your life. Just these very specific moments, the best of the best that you're putting up there with no context.
I'm going to stop it right here. Does anybody relate to this situation? You travel with somebody. It's very, very difficult. You're arguing with the person constantly, but then you're posting pretty pictures. The more you argue, the more you post pretty pictures. Okay, I need a sign of life.
No, it never happened.
Never happens. Okay, anybody else? Letitia, Gracie? Doris, Sandra?
No, I think never happens. You never post something negative about your life. because you need a provision for other people's, and I don't know why, but happened. But it is, I think these things happens more for people's they doing nothing with their life, because in my case I work a lot of and I don't have time for do this something in social media. I don't know.
No. So my question was, does anybody relate to this situation? You have traveled somewhere. It's been a very difficult trip, but you are posting how wonderful it is.
No.
No.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
No.
Nobody's ever done this?
No.
Okay. All right. So very interesting. So Rachel is all by herself here.
More and more, Rachel found that she was turning to social media for validation. She wanted confirmation from her social media feed that her life was on track. The more she posted photos of her relationship, the more positive feedback she got. Like,
I'm so happy for you. You're finally settling down, because I'd been traveling forever. And, you look great. You two look beautiful together.
So Rachel convinced herself that this was what she wanted. She had constructed a beautiful version of the truth, and now she felt she had to live it. She got married, posted photos of the wedding. She says that she and her husband moved to a new city. They both got jobs. They bought a house, put down roots.
On the outside, it looked like we had this beautiful new house, and he had this great new job, and I had this great new job, and still, things were not good.
The house looked beautiful from the outside, but ended up being costly and difficult to fix. Worse than that, Rachel increasingly felt she was with the wrong person.
The best way that I can put it is that we were just not suited for each other. And I knew it. I think that part of my psyche was just trying to ignore all of these signs that were just this person and I were not matched well.
Rachel quickly got pregnant. She had a difficult pregnancy, but again, that wasn't something she shared on social media.
It was taboo to say that this doesn't feel good, this is really hard, as if you're not grateful that you were pregnant. And instead of being able to say those things out loud, I just posted pictures of my growing belly and, cute things and working on the nursery and, things like that, instead of really focusing or sharing what was going on for me internally.
The unhappier Rachel felt, the more she posted. And she spent a lot of time looking at other people's posts too.
I would just scour other people's lives. I would just, to compare, their happiness against my happiness, I felt like I shouldn't be feeling the way I was feeling.
It seemed like the grass was always greener for everyone else. Everyone else seemed more successful, happier in their marriages, having more fun with their pregnancies and the early days of motherhood. Eventually, Rachel's marriage fell apart. She says she decided to move back to Cleveland, where her family's from, along with her son. And in that moment, something happened.
What was really interesting was when I knew I was moving back to Cleveland, I was trying to kind of put feelers out there because I knew I needed to find a job. And I didn't know how to say it without really saying what was going on. And so I, posted that my son and I were coming back to Cleveland and we'd be there in June. And I was looking for some, a new adventure or something like that, put some spin on it. And I got so many private messages from friends of mine who were like, are you guys getting divorced? Blah, blah, blah. And I have been separated for 6 months, or we're getting divorced, or I've been divorced for 2 years. I had no idea. These are people who I looked at their lives. And maybe if I hadn't been so hyper-focused on my life, I would have maybe noticed that their husbands were not in all the pictures anymore. It was eye-opening.
So that's what happened. All right. What happened?
she get divorced after all.
Yeah. So, and then once she did, she can no longer post pictures of this perfect marriage.
Mhm.
What does she suddenly learn about all these people she was following?
Whatever they do is not true.
I think was that Israel or Andres?
I think she learned nobody perfect when she's because in the first time she's motivated from other moms and from other family, and I think just she jumped. She want to be like them. Just has a husband and child maybe. Then after that, she realized just she's faking, and maybe the other people just they faking, not happy.
So everybody else is also not experience. So she's realizing, wait a minute, I'm really not alone. I'm not alone at all. All these other people are living this imaginary life online as well. All right, good stuff. So that's the first half of the story. And that is the first two questions. That's enough to answer the first two questions on the assignment. Your assignment's not due for another week and a half, but I want everybody to take a while looking at these questions and giving complex, detailed answers. So when you look at the first two questions, that's what we're going to discuss. Why did Rachel feel pressure to settle down and start a family? You want to give a complicated answer in 35 to 50 words, a really nice, solid paragraph with detailed information that you got from the story. And the second question, what aspects of Rachel's marriage did she leave out of social media? There was a lot. When she was pregnant, how did she feel about being pregnant?
Bad.
Yeah, she was terrible. She's got all that.
She's terrible.
Yeah.
But in social media, she is perfect. And
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We're told, in reality, you're like, oh, I'm pregnant. I feel terrible. This is going on. That's going on. That's reality. But of course, you're going to post pictures. Oh, look at my belly and everything's perfect. So all this stuff. And of course, she's fighting with her husband. They don't get along. But of course, she posts pictures. Here is my perfect life with my perfect husband and all this stuff. So yes, these are the first two questions. I'm going to put you into breakout rooms and I want you to practice giving full detailed answers that you would eventually put into writing here. So the first breakout room will be question number 1. Second breakout room, question number 2. So if you see 1, that's question 1. Why did Rachel feel pressure to settle down and start a family? If you're in breakout room 2, what aspects of her life did she leave out of social media? Okay, here we go. 2 breakout rooms. And you could join your breakout rooms now.
Teacher, can you send it to me again? I click by wrong for something then.
What do you mean send what?
The breakout room.
Oh, okay.
Sorry for that.
No problem, no problem. Okay, do you see it now? You should be able to join now, Fatima.
Yes, I think so. No.
Okay, you should see a sign that says join and you just click
Yeah,
join.
I click, but it's not working.
Let me try again. Here we go.
Okay.
How about now? You went in, but you left.
Teacher, I don't know what happened to my phone.
So you keep getting sent back to the main, okay, I'm gonna send you back to, I'm gonna send you back. Breakout room 2 is a little more lively. I'm gonna send you to, I was trying to
Okay.
say, okay, here we go. They're having some good conversations in there. Here we go. Let's send Fatima. Okay, try breakout
I
room.
wish it's gonna work.
Okay, okay, go ahead. Okay, so I've actually found the research report, the full 30-page document that was published by Tel Aviv University, and I've posted it on Google Classroom, and I challenge you to engage with it, because it's an academic paper, and it's a lot of complicated language, and I know that when you see something that is complicated in English, it's intimidating, but I want to challenge you to look at it and not be intimidated. I'm not giving you an assignment, not going to ask you to understand anything about it, but I'm posting it just to give everybody a sense of what an academic paper looks like. So right here, I posted this. This is the paper published at Tel Aviv University. It's good to see how researchers present information. This is the type of writing you are all learning as you prepare for college. So the way that scholars present information in a paper, they do research, they present their information, and then they publish it. It's good to look at that information, because what we're teaching you at 6A is really the building blocks of how to do that type of writing, academic writing. So when you open it up, you're going to say, oh, so much English, and you want to run away. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. We're going to look at it together. So when you open up the document, okay, so we've got several people, authors, right here, and then citations. Who knows what a citation is? I think Claudia was guessing. Israel or
citation is like when you mention, it's when you mention the who wrote the evidence.
Exactly. Good job, Andres. So yes, when you start writing in academic papers in college, you learn to do citations. It's giving credit to where you're getting your information. And this is what it looks like. There's different formats for citations, but as you read along, they have what's called an abstract. Does anybody know what an abstract is?
Yes.
Who could tell us?
It's like a summary about the topic you're talking about.
Close. It's like a theoretical, it's like a theory. You're presenting a theory or an argument, basically. Here's the abstract of my research, what it's about. And here's the abstract of these three researchers at Tel Aviv University. And they give kind of a prediction of, or a preview, I should say, a preview of what the information will entail. And then throughout here, they have a variety of references. Not my favorite citation style, but these are citations. You see how you have all these names and dates? Every time they cite evidence from something else, they give credit to who they cited. And this is essentially what academic writing looks like. So that's something you can engage with. And at the very end, they visualize a lot of their evidence with charts. And this is what we'll actually, oh, and at the end, these are another word for citations is references. So they have 30 different references in their paper They're citing 30 different sources, and they reference them chronologically at the end. So that's what an academic paper looks like. And also, last thing, they also have charts. Charts are fun. They also have charts from their experiments. We'll play with some of the charts. It visualizes the information of the people they worked with. So that's fun to look at. And that's what they use to prove their argument. So that's what academic writing is in essence. Essentially, you are looking at evidence and you are making an original argument and giving credit to your sources of information. That's how you survive college. So you want to start thinking about making arguments in your writing. And even with a simple exercise like my worksheet, you want to think, how do I make an argument explaining how I know what I'm saying? Why did Rachel feel pressure to settle down and start a family? You want to explain in complex sentences where you're getting your answer from. What is your reasoning behind it? That's the way I want everyone to start forming their writing. And these last two, what is FOMO and how did it affect Rachel's life choices? And then what were the results of the experiment in Tel Aviv? That's what we're gonna do in the next class, these last two. But I'll give you a preview of this one right now. What is FOMO and how did it affect Rachel's life choices? Here we go. So going back to the transcripts.
Eye-opening. Once the spell was broken.
So she said it was eye-opening when she realized that not everyone's life was perfect.
Realize something.
Lives. And maybe if I hadn't been so hyper-focused on my life, I would have maybe noticed that their husbands were not in all the pictures anymore. It was eye-opening.
Once the spell was broken, Rachel realized something.
I look at social media differently now. In fact, when people are posting a ton of stuff, I'm always kind of like, I wonder what other story is happening. Not that there has to be doom and gloom and negativity, but there's always another story. There's always something else going on. There's context you could never pick up if you didn't know.
There's always another story. We might know this intellectually, but we still often feel a sense of social comparison when we look at our social media feeds.
So it's not that you think that others are happier than you are, but you need to prove yourself to yourself over and over again, and this social comparison engagement makes you less happy.
When we come back, we'll explore how the amount of time you spend on social media can determine how happy you are. Stay with us.
Let's take a minute to thank their leveling. Support also comes.
And just a reminder, you see how I skipped the commercial? You can do that on your own when you listen to it on your own.
Comes from Lisa, an innovative mattress online for.
I kept thinking about this tragic irony.
Shelter in need. Go to leesa.com and use promo code NPR to receive $100 off.
Commercial. Okay.
This is Hidden Brain. I'm Shankar Vedantam. When I heard Rachel's story, I kept thinking about this tragic irony. She constructed a fake world to keep up with the happy lives of her friends on Facebook. But many of her friends were doing exactly the same thing. They were trying to keep up with her. Everyone was posting pictures of their beautiful vacation, and no one was saying anything about the fight they'd had during the car trip. Many studies have shown that people who use social media frequently appear to be unhappier than those who don't. But until recently, it was impossible to say whether this was correlation or causation. Do lonely people spend more time on social media in an effort to escape their loneliness, Or is social media itself causing people to feel isolated?
Got to underline the vocabulary words correlation and causation. The difference, correlation means coincidental, happening at the same time. One is not causing the other. Causation means directly causing the other. Which one is it? Coincidence or not?
A recent study at Tel Aviv University has provided what may be the first experiment to sort out causation from correlation.
Yes, so my name is Ohad Barzilay, and I am a faculty member at the Kohler School of Management in Tel Aviv University.
Ohad and his colleagues wanted to test whether spending time on Facebook actually made people feel worse. They happened on what psychologists call a natural experiment. A security firm in Israel decided to restrict the Facebook use of its employees. No one was allowed to use Facebook at all for security reasons. The employees had to delete their accounts if they wanted to continue working for the company. But then, after some time, the firm decided to allow some employees to reopen their accounts. They effectively created two groups, one that used Facebook, one that didn't. None of these people were choosing which group to be in, so it couldn't be that people who were unhappy were the ones choosing to use Facebook. Ohad and his colleagues collected data about the employees from the time no one was allowed to use Facebook, and a few months after, some employees were allowed to use the social media website.
We decided to focus on Facebook effect on social comparison, the perceptions of others' lives, and happiness.
Social comparison, the very thing Rachel struggled with, looking at other people's lives and trying to figure out whether she measured up.
Okay, I'll stop right there. It's 12 o'clock. And I challenge you to look at that paper published by these researchers at Tel Aviv University. I challenge everyone to look at the results that they published. You can, of course, listen to the rest of the story to get an easier interpretation of it. But if you really want to dive in to that challenging paper that they published and see what they did and what the results were, go ahead. It's right there in Google Classroom. That is it. I will see you next time. Bye-bye,
Thank you so
everyone.
much. Bye-bye.
Have a great
Have a nice
weekend.
day.
Bye-bye, everyone.
You too.
You too.
Take care.